Hello there everyone, Lydia here, and today I'm so pleased to be part of the Altenew July 2020 release. So here I'm going to be sharing with you this card, and it features the beautiful Courageous You stamp set, also the new colouring stencil as well, which is really cool, but I'm going to show you a way to use this without using too much masking tape. So as I said, I'm going to be using the beautiful Courageous You stamp set, and you can see that we have this huge floral image here, as well as lots of beautiful sentiments too. This is the new layering stencil that they have, and this is going to colour the image that we have on the stamp set really quick and easy. So to start with, I'm going to take a panel of white cardstock, and I'm going to ink my image using the beautiful Obsidian. So this is my go-to black ink, and I'm going to be using this to stamp the image. I'm just making sure that I have enough pressure on there to make sure that the image is stamped properly. Once I've done that, I'm going to remove the image and then stamp it again into this top part of the card. So I've kind of covered the whole of my panel in this beautiful floral image. Once I stamped these, I did heat set them just to make sure that they weren't going to blend and bleed when I did my little bit of the blending that I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to take my stencil. Now I just wanted to show you a way to use this without using so much masking tape and having to mask off everything again and again. So all I've done is I've taken a piece of acetate, which is the same size as the stencil, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around all of the images on here. I'm using my jet black artist marker, but you could use any alcohol ink pen that you do have. Once I have done that, I can then take my scissors and I'm just going to cut around those lines that we've created with my little pen. So this is then going to create little masks for each of the images on the stencil. You can leave them just as they are if you want to, but I'm going to go a little bit further with mine, and I'm just going to tape these on, just on one side to create a little hinge. That means that I'm just going to be able to flip these over when I don't need to have these open. So I can flip it out the way, or I can put it down if I do need that image covered. So this is going to greatly reduce the amount of masking tape that I need, because I don't need to mask off every single little image every time I do want to use another one. So you can see here that I have all the little flaps, and they're quite easy to use, and it's going to I can keep it like that in the packaging too. So now it's to use it. So you're only going to need to create your little flap images once, and then you can reuse this again and again, especially because we're using that acetate. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little tiny bit of tape to keep those flaps down. But as you can see, I'm not using as much tape as I would use normally. Now I'm just going to take this down, and I'm going to be using the baby pink and the Dewdrops ink from Altenew to colour these, as well as my little blending tools from Altenew too. Now I'm just going to keep going with this. I'm going to use exactly the same colours for all of the images. I'm just going to close my flaps when I don't need them, and then open them back up when I do. Just that tiny little bit of tape is keeping the rest of the flaps down, so I know that I'm not going to colour into those images. If you wanted to, you could use a coloured piece of acetate. I think this might be a little bit easier, because you can definitely see which of your flaps are then open. I'm just going to keep going with this until I've covered all of the image. Again, I'm using the same colours, which is the Dewdrops and the baby pink, but you could go for all different colours if you wanted to, and that would give a different look too. I just love these colours together. It gives a really magical fairy tale look to them. So once I have finished, I then wanted to add a little bit of boldness to this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my artist marker from before, so this is the jet black, or any black marker that you have, and I'm just going to draw around the whole of the image first, and I'm then going to colour in the little spaces. So it does take a little bit of time to do this, but I do believe it's worth it in the end for a different look. I'm then going to move on to my sentiment. I've taken the bold thanks from Altenew, and I've cut this out of some jet black cardstock and also some mirror gold. I wanted to add a little bit more gold into my card for this one. So I'm just going to take my glue tape, and I'm just going to glue the little pieces into place, and it's really quite easy to do, and it gives a really great look. I've added a little bit more gold to my card base by adding a little bit of gold splatter and also some black splatter. I think it gives it a pretty artsy look that way. I'm adding a little bit of pattern paper to the outside. This is black and white. And then I'm also taking the golden trim washi from Altenew and adding that over the little join line that we have. Once that's done, I can then add my whole panel to my card base, and then I'm going to add on my sentiment. I'm just adding a little bit of foam tape behind this to add a little bit of depth and dimension to the card, and it adds a little bit of interest too. So here is the card complete. I really do hope that you've enjoyed the video and that you like the card as well. Also, if you do create a card that was inspired by this, it'd be great if you do share. I'd love to see. Again, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.